Alright, what's going on, guys? I just wanted to make a little video today talking about these fights from last weekend. I forgot my speaker at home, so I'm hoping that my phone picks up enough of this conversation for me to post. If not, I'm not going to do it, and I know you guys will never see this video. But as I'm finishing up my workouts today, we're doing a little back buys, a little recovery day. We're doing a deload week. Went a little too heavy last week. I want to talk about Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett because what a fight. What a fight. Oh my God. Paddy demolished Michael Chandler, and honestly, so unfortunately, it's against my prediction. I thought Michael Chandler was going to win. I thought one of those winging shots were going to catch Paddy, and they did. There was two punches that Michael Chandler landed with pretty good power behind him, but they didn't put Paddy out. What does he say? Schnauzers don't get knocked out. So I guess not, because the left hook that he walked into, listen, Paddy's looking better fight by fight. I wouldn't say it's like a tremendous difference though. When he fights, there's such a dramatic difference to Michael Chandler, who fights like this, who takes a full foot off of his height when he fights. Let's say Michael Chandler's 5'8", 5'7". When he's down like this, he's got to be at least just 5 foot flat. Whereas Paddy Pimblett, he stands so straight up and his chin is so high, it gives him that little height advantage. And on top of that, when you're this wide, there's good power in your kicks because you're able to load up and get here. But if you notice, if you're here, the kick is a flick and right back. Very easy to get back into your stance. But when you're here, boom, you have to get all the way back. It's just not as time consuming. So I think that's one of the biggest things that messes Michael Chandler up. Or that just messes Michael Chandler up in general, because his stance is so wide that it makes it tough for him to recover or be too quick. Which, when you're a ball of muscle and you don't have that much technique behind you, you gotta be fast. You gotta be able to at least use your athleticism. Whereas that's Michael Chandler's strong suit. Paddy put it on him though. Oh my Lord. So the pressure is one thing I don't think Michael Chandler was expecting. Paddy really didn't walk too backwards too much. He looked good. He looked really good. I'm gonna have to rewatch that fight because it was so surprising seeing him dominate Michael Chandler like that. After that loss, this is the classic Michael Chandler kind of conversation where it's like, what do you want from Michael Chandler? He's fighting one of the better fighters in the UFC yet again. Whereas, see, this is where me and my dad differ right here. Right, he's a long-time MMA fan, even longer than I have, obviously. You know, I'm 22. But he thinks Paddy doesn't have a shot against Charles Oliveira. After what I just saw, and how much bigger Paddy looked than Michael Chandler, which is kind of crazy to say, Paddy looked a whole division heavier than Michael Chandler did. Obviously, it's the name of the game. You looked at Diego Lopez, he looked a whole 2 divisions heavier than Volkanovski. So it is what it is. It's kind of, me and my dad were talking about it this weekend. The next generation of fighters, yes, there's always a skill that they kind of acquire that makes them better than the previous generation, but also it's them getting significantly better at the weight cut. If you look at the older fighters and stuff compared to the new fighters, real quick. Imagine this. So actually, the last 4 fights of the night, Bryce Mitchell versus John Silva, however his name is said. John Silva, the bigger fighter, much bigger. Bryce Mitchell's arms look the size of like my forearms. It's bad. He looks so tiny in there. But anyways, so we got John Silva. He won his fight, much bigger than Bryce Mitchell. I'm not saying that there's not a skill difference there as well, because obviously John Silva's stand-up is a lot better than Bryce Mitchell's, but the size difference, you can't negate that. And then we got Yair versus Pitbull, which Yair was the much bigger fighter in that fight as well. You got Paddy Pimblett, Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett being the much bigger fighter. And then the fight of the night, you got Diego Lopez, who looked huge compared to Volk. It didn't serve him any better though, because his cardio, he just didn't expend himself. He went forward, but he couldn't touch him. Because Volk does a very good job of not just getting in quick and getting out. He goes in quick, but then he circles out this way or spins off this way, and he doesn't do the same thing twice. It's really phenomenal to watch Volk fight. A lot of people could take something out of his game, especially Paddy, because that was the only time Paddy was really getting caught, was when he was engaging. Well, let me change that, because he never engages like this. This dude, when he engages like this. It's actually kind of insane how Michael Chandler doesn't just slip off to the side and counter. Anyways, he actually did. He did. Paddy's got a chin on him though. What can we say about Paddy's chin that hasn't already been shown? There's a big technical difference between Michael Chandler and a lot of these other fighters though. Michael Chandler isn't reactive, he's proactive. I don't even know if that's the fucking right term to use there. But, for instance, if you go back and watch the Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler fight, when Michael Chandler comes in, he doesn't have bad defense, and he's a stocky fighter, and the reason he stays so low is because he's stocky. So if everything's clumped up here, if he goes in with a jab, he's here. There's not a lot of openings. But, if you notice, he never jabs, looks at what the other person's doing. So let's say the other person jabs him, he parries, they throw a left hook. He's never gonna analyze that, roll under and counter. He's gonna go in, he freezes, he uses the same defense every time, and once you change it up, that's when he changes it up. And that's what I think Michael Chandler really lacks, because he's not a bad fighter at all. I think he's still top 10, top 15 in the division. I think he could strike wins against these people if he was better technically. In that Justin Gaethje fight, Justin Gaethje has two main counters. When you're coming in, he's either gonna throw a wild left hook or a pretty nice uppercut, or both. He throws that uppercut left hook very nicely in succession. So, when Michael Chandler was coming in all day, Justin Gaethje was going with this looping left hook and kind of countering out. So when Michael Chandler was coming in, he was kind of fading onto this side. So Justin Gaethje, standing really high and getting in his guard here, he comes in, boom, sends him off to the side. When Michael Chandler got hit with like 2 or 3 of those, every time he came in, now he's raising this super high, which obviously, if you watch the fight, he started coming in, and now he's getting hit with the uppercut. He's not reactive enough to fight with these other competitive UFC fighters, and I don't know why nobody tells him to be a little more reactive. He thinks that his game plan is going to overpower anybody else. When, if you're not a freak of nature athletically, which he's really not, he's in great shape, don't get me wrong, but he is not manhandling these people, such as Khabib, such as John Jones, that he's not that kind of athlete. He looks great, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't apply the same way. So, Paddy was picking him apart. He was giving him variety of attacks, which is really all you have to do to beat Michael Chandler, is leg kick him a little bit, and then don't throw the same fucking strikes. You come in with a double jab every time, he's gonna counter off right hand, you're gonna get knocked out. You come in with the same flying knee, he's gonna left hook you, he's gonna knock you out, he's got great power. But if you show him different things, different techniques, different styles, and different setup to your attacks, it's over. And then on top of that, you throw the height difference in there where he always crouches so low and he never goes for any takedowns. That knee is always there. Are you crazy? I don't see how other people haven't hit him with these knees because he gets so low. One, he's already so low because he's here. You imagine he jabs to the body, he's down here. That knee, let's see, his head is here. I don't even have to lift. Boom, you're going to sleep every time. And even you step back from that, bow, bow, you're going to sleep either way. So, all that to say, Michael Chandler signed the contract, let's fucking fight, baby.